Hey, Otakus, what's up? It's your tour guide here coming at you with not another haul video. I know it feels like every time we come on, we're just buying comics and showing them off, but we're taking a break. We're going to take a break. I have a couple auctions I'm eyeing online, um, and I'm debating whether to spend the money on the book or not. Um, and I guess we'll go over that. Um, I brought a lot into my collection, and I love nearly all of it. Um, so I watched this video. He's a community member. I think his name's Comic Bangle or something like that. Comics Bongle. But he pared his collection down to the top 40 books. So he got rid of everything else, or maybe he's just whether he's selling everything else or whether he's gotten rid of everything else. His core PC books are only 40, and he slabbed all 40 of them, and they're all 40 of them are like major keys. Um, and he's a big Marvel guy. So that got me thinking, like this is unsustainable. Your mental energy, I'm pouring everything into this summer because this is really the only opportunity I get to be like this, where I can be OCD on comics. And I am right now like very OCD, but I also know when my wife gets back in September, the comic, I'm going to take a long break from comic books. I'm going to probably take I am going to Emerald City Comic Con, so it won't be that long of a break. But I'm gonna take outside of the Comic Con. I'm gonna try to really minimize what I pick up. Maybe $10 a month, if that. I am more willing to now save everything for the cons and pick up stuff I really want at the cons, and then get all the signed and cool print art. Like I think that's kind of where I am with collecting now. I do want to keep my collection, like my Jim Lee books. They're not going anywhere. Um, in fact, just to collect all the Jim Lee books, I think there's 680 some odd books on Key Collector that are Jim Lee books, and I have about 213, sorry, 210 of those books at the moment. Um, but that's not even a third. And to be honest, if I were to pursue all 600 books, it would probably be close to filling up what I have right now. Um, sorry, close to what I currently have in my PC right now, because my PC is I want to say it's about 1,200 books, so it'd be bringing in 400 more books is really taxing. So, we'll continue to bring in Jim Lee books. Don't worry. We're not writing off collecting every single Jim Lee book, but that is a very challenging task to integrate into what I want to now define as the core PC. And that's what I mean. That bottom drawer, this entire sort of filing cabinet I have, uh, dedicated to comic books. The top two drawers are really for like bigger books, like slabs and sort of higher priced signed books and keys. And then you have the runs. So I realized I have to really be hyper focused now on what I pick up. and I'm gonna break down what those things are and try to take everything outside of that. We'll keep it in the core, but what we'll be doing is we'll be replacing it every time one of the key pieces of my core PC come in. To make space when we put one in, we're going to take a book from my sort of main collection out into like the cell box or just out of the collection. So this is a huge, hey, what's up, Joe? This is a huge transition to my collection because what we're doing now is we're really keying in on the stuff we collected when I was a kid. Um, and so I'll give you just a sort of a summary of what my core collection, is going to look like. Okay, just a summary. We are going to collect um, every John Byrne cover, Uncanny X-Men cover, all his interiors eventually, but we're going to focus on the covers first. So we're focused on, and then when we do that, we won't even need a classic X-Men section. I can just, I've been collecting classic X-Men, but what's the point, right? It's like you want the Byrne books, so just focus on the Byrne books. Don't pick up dollar books that won't amount to anything. So, I mean, the classic X Men stuff is good. I still like it. It's what I read, but I'm gonna only collect a few key items out of the classic X Men run. I'm not gonna try to pick up more than that. So we're kind of eliminating classic X Men as a run. There's just going to be maybe a few items, some of the covers, Art Adams covers and whatnot, we could pick up out of there. But overall, we're going to pick up Byrne X Men. Um, we're just going to pick it up. Okay, we're going to pick up Byrne X Men. Now, um, along with Jim Lee stuff, Neil Adams is right up there in terms of priorities. And what the passing of John Romita made me realize is we want to pick up a lot of his stuff too. So, um, I mean, I've been wanting to pick up his stuff before Romita Senior passed away, but I think it's a good thing to be focused on because of the price point. You really can't just, you got to save for these things, right? Right? You got to. Um, there are things you work toward through your, my monthly budget's going to go back down to like almost nothing. I'm probably going to reduce it myself. Right now it's $30 a month, but I think I can really get by on just $10 and saving that and having just $120 for the con to pick up really the just $120 book, you know, which is like a can be a mid to low grade John Romita Silver Age Spider Man. Um, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I can bring myself to just $10 a month. Um, but because we're this, I think we will need more budget. So I'll probably keep the $30 a month, and then we'll have like $300, $400 to spend at Emerald City, which is fair for like 300, 400 for the year. That's that's something we can do. Yeah, and it'll just keep me focused on looking for the stuff on my list at Comic Con. Okay, so like I said, Neil Adams stuff, anything Neil Adams, DC Neil Adams, any Neil Adams really, but primarily his Silver Age, Bronze Age stuff. I am wanting to pick it all up. There's a lot to pick up, but what I'm realizing is a lot of it. Um, I mean, the grade is important to a degree, but if it's like presentable, you can really pick out a lot of this stuff for like dollars. So that's what I really appreciate about some of the Silver Age Superman and Silver Age DC stuff. Um, you can pick it up for like $5, $5 to $6, maybe sometimes even up to 10, depending on the grade. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try to pick up more Silver Age DC stuff. It's gonna be first. We're gonna focus on picking up all of Neil's stuff first. So do you see how that works? Like I can't bring myself to pick up um, like I mean, well, I don't want to say I can't. We'll be picking up everything in tandem, but I'm gonna lean on Neil Adams as opposed to like um, other Silver Age artists like Kurt Swan or you know Kurt Schaffenberger. These guys. All right. Another thing I've just completed. I just completed the Superman Burn run from 1 to 21. Um, and they're all newsstands. Um, and that felt really like I did that in one fell swoop for like $39. That felt good. And this is not going anywhere. So Burn Superman is not going anywhere. It's cemented into the PC. Um, I would take Burn Superman over Burn X Men, to be honest. I know Burn blew up because of X Men, but where he settled was like here. This is just he wrote and drew and just basically did this entire comic book by himself. Him and a guy named Terry Austin. Um, so basically, like that is complete. That's just like that's where the core of the PC is kind of focused. Here's another run I would like to finish is the Mignola Death in the Family. This is the only book. This is 4 of 4. I got to get the other 3. The death of Jason Todd is probably the big one. That I think is like I want to say it's $100 book. It might be more, but that's the big one, and that's the one we uh, again we're gonna pick up the all 4 of those. We are definitely gonna pick up all the Bolland Wonder Woman. Um, oh my goodness, this is what I'm obsessing over at the moment. Um, I love Bolland Wonder Woman. They're just not, I love Bolland's work, but I've seen Bolland's work like in Batman. You know, like Killing Joke. The Killing Joke was always my introduction to his work, and it's frightening. Like his artwork is like just like dark. You know, it's just like that book, Killing Joke. That was dark, so he can go there. Um, but these Wonder Woman ones aren't as dark. They're kind of like I don't know. They're very unique. They're innovative. Um, and she looks absolutely gorgeous in every cover. Like he really like has a sense of who Wonder Woman is. Like that's what I love about this run. like that expression right there, right? Like, um, just gives her the personality. Um, so yeah, we're gonna try to pick up. I want to pick up the first 10 issues of Wonder Woman Perez, maybe the first 20, but at least first 10. Pick up all of the Ball and Wonder Woman stuff. Pick up some of the Adam Hughes Wonder Woman stuff, some of the John Byrne Wonder Woman stuff. We'll just be picking up really nice covers there, and that's how we'll approach Wonder Woman. So pretty broad, but I don't mind adding more. And of course, Silver Age, Bronze Age Wonder Woman is always a game as well. We're gonna pick up all War of the Gods, all of the War of the Gods run. We're gonna pick up all of the Crisis on Infinite Earths run. I'm gonna try to pick up the newsstand copies, but it doesn't have to be the newsstand copies. If it's out there in the wild and it's at a good price, we'll pick it up. Um, but I am trying to pick up mostly newsstand now. Um, we're gonna try to finish the Secret Wars run as well. This is a 12 issue, 12 issue run. I have one, two, three, four, five. I have five of the 12 currently. So we need to pick up seven more. So that remains. I think if I'm focused on this over the summer, I can do it because I've already picked up three in the last 2 weeks. So now that I'm focused on it, I can definitely just go out, pick them all up. Most of the shops have this in their bins, so I can just kind of piece together a nice run. I may be paying a little bit for it. I anticipate it's going to be like 10 to $20 for some of these, but if I can do it locally, um, we'll do it that way. All right. This next one is one I should have been focused on. I guess because I had a few books from Wolverine Run, I felt like that's representative of my collection. I don't have to, I guess, go beyond that. There were more books I wanted to pick up. I did want to pick up some of the earlier ones, all the Jim Lee stuff, some of the John Byrne stuff, and more of the Mark Silvestri stuff. But um, I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to focus on the first 10 issues of this run, which is a John Buscema uh, artwork. Um, really just cool stuff. Um, and this was sort of a hyper violent Wolverine. I remember when this came out, I was in like middle school maybe, and I just remember going. First of all, being super excited that Wolverine has his own monthly series, but was just I love where Claremont went with this with the character, and then Hama took over, and again, like it's just something that's always been part of what I've been reading and interested in, but I've never really focused on it until now. Now I'm going to pick up again the first 10 issues of Wolverine, maybe even the first 20, maybe even the first 50, but definitely the first 10, and then focus on all the Silvestri Hama comic books in the run. I've already have all the Jim Lee stuff. There's a couple John Byrne books I could pick up, but yeah, I mean just more focused on Larry Ham. 8 is so for Secret Wars. Yeah, eight's going to be my hardest, but I already have it, so I already have 8. So yeah, that's the hardest. If you have 8, the Secret War stuff is easy to pick up. So I feel like that's where I want to be. So we're gonna just pick up more stuff like this, right? Add more of this to the PC, and we want newsstands. We want newsstand Wolverines. So that keeps us hyper focused. Um, Now, I also wanted to pick up the this Spider-Man run. 1 through I think 19 is like the first 19 issues are the McFarlane, and I'll let you know why I think this particular run is the stuff to collect if you're a McFarlane collector. I know there's no value because these things were mass produced, but if you're talking about leaving Marvel at the height of one's game, not even at the height, I feel like McFarlane um, got better, you know, in those initial days at um, at Image. He got a lot better. Um, but anyway, like this is like prime, like this is as he was becoming. He became an all star when he was doing this book, right? He was at already all star status. So this, I think, is just. I know everybody has this in their collection. This is just one of the things you just, as a Copper Age, the person who collected the '90s, you read this book, you had it in you had a couple issues or whatever in your collection. Maybe you filled out the run, but you had multiples of it. So I am just going to pick up all the McFarlane books. I think so. So it's 1 through 19. There's like on number 1, there's maybe 4 or 5 different variants based on the prints and the colors. Um, there's the newsstands, of course, which on this particular run, newsstands are hard. Not that they're hard to come by, but the high grade ones are hard to come by, right? So, and we'd want if we're gonna do newsstands, we kind of want, especially this '90s stuff or the early '90s stuff. We'd want to have it high grade. Um, mid low grade on this stuff is, even though it's quite old, it just doesn't feel like it should be in the collection. All right, so Byrne Fantastic Four. We already have Byrne Superman, and if we didn't focus on Byrne Fantastic Four, which we have a lot of right now, but there's a lot more. I mean, Byrne was on that book for a long time, so I'm kind of like giving myself an out to not do the Byrne Fantastic Four run because it'll be just too long, and just be satisfied with what I have right here. And if we get down to that point where we're actually pairing Byrne from our collection, which, come on, that's going to be like a long ways away. Um, I'll purge a lot of things first before I purge stuff like this. But what we're going to do is we're just going to take a break from Fantastic Four Byrne for now. Just take a break and focus on some of the other high profile stuff. So not as much Byrne Fantastic Four. This is something we are definitely looking to pick up from here on out. And that is, I want to get at least the first 10 issues of Spidey Super Stories, the first 10 issues. I think that's, and this is not that, it's not that hard of I know right now everybody's focused on this. Everybody wants to pick this up. but I picked up a few copies. I think locally people won't be as hyper focused on Romita Senior. Some people, like you mentioned, he passed away to collectors, and they're like, "Oh, really?" Like they just don't know much about him, which I find just kind of disappointing. As like, if there's a, there should be just a school for collectors. Like this is like you got to go to school and get educated about the basics at least. But the thing is, like, I am ignorant to a lot of the golden age stuff, this even the silver age stuff, like the artists and the people that worked. So, like, I guess it's not that big of a deal, but you know basically um, he was Marvel during its growth period. So that says a lot. um, so I already mentioned, we're trying to pick up Neil Adams. And so what we're doing now is, as we bring in, because this is pretty much full. My where I keep my short boxes, I basically have enough room for about 4 short boxes worth of comics. That's going to be my PC. That's the core PC right there. So I don't know how many books that is. Assuming like a short box is like 150 comics. Let's just assume that it's going to be 600 books. So these runs here that I just mentioned, most of these are like Copper Age runs. These are the runs I want to really finish first while we're picking up Silver Age Neil Adams, while we're picking up Silver Age, Bronze Age Wonder Woman, while we're picking up Silver Age, not Bronze Age, Silver Age Superman, Silver Age Lois Lane, Silver. Yeah, I don't want to do Silver Age Batman. Um, there's too much Superman stuff to collect. Um, I mean, if there's like a Neil Adams Batman sitting somewhere for four or $5 or something, of course we'll pick it up. But I guess all DC Neil Adams stuff is game. So Batman, everything is game, DC wise. If it's Neil Adams, DC, we're picking it up. Um, yeah, that's a good place to be. And of course, we're gonna pick up Jim Lee stuff. We're just not obsessing about it. It's gonna be one of those Unmyung things. Oh, okay, this is something I don't have in my collection, and I'm gonna again, of course, steer away from the doubles. I gotta get rid of some of these doubles. Um, or I've got it. I don't know what I did. Like the thing is, I love the doubles. I love the fact that I have doubles of certain books. I just gotta stop. Like I have 600. I have space for 600 books, and I can't be content with sacrificing that space with things that I have multiples of. So that's going to stop. I think what I'm going to eventually do is sell some of the Jim Lee stuff, and sell a lot of the books that are percolating out of my collection as we put more of the core stuff in. So it'll be stuff like this, like Batman 500, right? Um, this newsstand, it's a Mignola cover, but maybe I'll keep this one. Yeah, we'll probably keep this one. Newsstand Mignola Batman Dark Knight Dark City. Really cool Mignola cover. In fact, we're going to put that back into the core PC. But you know, stuff like this is out, like the Detective Comics, Mud Pack, First Anarchy. These are out. Um, I realize you just can't collect all of Batman, so you really got to be hyper focused on the kind of Batman stuff you are going to focus on. So stuff like this is out. This is available. Newsstand 90s. Uh, Batman Adventures number 33. That's a key issue. This is a 9/9 potential. It's really clean. And then this one here, Mask of the Phantasm. This is the first movie adaptation. Um, all this stuff here, like Wanted. This is like the Wizard World Texas variant. We've got Batman's. We've got Dark Tower, stuff like that. We're gonna keep in the for sale bin now. My for sale bin is what I'm going to take around now that I think I'm going to try to schedule a couple of these like collector. Let me if you're in this area, leave in the comment if you're down to meet up and trade books. You know I've got a little like a potpourri of stuff that's available, and so we could trade. You can buy them. I'll give them to you for a really good price. Um, or yeah, we can work something out. But most of these are available. I want to say it's a good short box of books now, um, and some of it is like really like. Let me show you. Uh, we've got like the first Avatar. Okay, stuff like that. We've got um, one of the first cover appearances of Mask. We've got like Power Rangers. This is a sign by Kyle Higgins. It's a Shattered Grid David Finch variant cover. Cool White Knight or Green Knight. There is that it? Is that the Green Knight or the White Knight? Anyway, cool cover there. That's that's like a $50 book, but it's signed, so you know whatever you think that value is worth for the signature. Um, yeah, shout out to Texas, man. Wizard World. Um, so yeah, as you can see, like there's the collection is changing, and the reason it's good to figure that out now is because I've spent a lot of money this month. I want to say I've spent about $600 this month. And most of the stuff I picked up was like PC stuff. But I did we're doing the calculations, and if we were just going to pick up 600 books and we really want to pick up like all the books in the run, I don't want to like get to a point where I'm maxed out and I'm still having to finish the runs I want to finish. So that is where we've sort of rewired everything. We're going to focus on the runs, and I just went over all of the stuff again. We're not doing Burn Fantastic Four anymore. It's too long of a run. And I love it, but we'll pick up things here and there. Spider-Man is one. We're close to finishing this up. We just need a few more issues. Wolverine, all the Silvestri Wolverine stuff, all the Buscema stuff, probably the first 10, 13 to 13 issues. We're going to try to pick up all the Secret Wars. We're going to pick up the Crisis, all of those. We're going to pick up War of the Gods. We're focused on Ballin, Wonder Woman. Focused on picking up all of the Death in the Family. We already finished Superman, the first 21 burn. We're going to pick up Neil Adams stuff. And we're going to pick up Burn X-Men. Burn X-Men is a big... And also, we finished Jim Lee X-Men. We're going to focus on Mark Silvestri X-Men as well. So Byrne and Silvestri X-Men. And I think we're good. That's the core PC right there. And I can be, once we finish that, and whatever we purge from the current collection to make room for these core books that I outline as we're picking them up. Again, we're going to put one in, take one out, kind of mentality. It'll be interesting to see what comes out. I mean, there's a lot that can come out there. And I'm realizing now, for example, the new Teen Titans run, as much as I'd love to finish that one, that's a long one. Not that the books are that expensive, but there are a few keys in there, like issue 1, issue 2. There's another big one in there. But those key issues are going to make it difficult to pick them all up. It's a voluminous task, first of all, but it's also intertwined with expensive keys. So I think focusing on Perez, focusing on Crisis on Infinite Earths, that quenches the Wolfman Perez collection piece. And then Perez Wonder Woman, picking that up satisfies that. So the new Teen Titans stuff, even as cool as that is, I think picking up the first issue of the new Teen Titans will be the PC piece. And we can trade and sell all those other pieces, purge that from the collection and just make the DC Comics Presents, what is it? The first appearance of the new Teen Titans. We'll make that the target piece for the summer. And that's already on my list of books that we want to pick up. So, that's pretty much where the collection is headed. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Right now, money's trickling in. I think come this time next Friday, I'll have another $600 to work with. And of course, I'm not going to spend all that locally. Every time I go to my local LCS here, I'm spending maybe $10 at most, $10 to $20. Really not picking up much. But I will be picking up this now. I'll be picking up the stuff I want to kind of check off the list. So we're talking about Secret Wars. We're talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths. We're talking about Silvestri X-Men. In fact, I just picked up Destiny City Comics. They post things, and they just got in some X-Men. And I missed out on an opportunity to get X-Men 239 last time. Or what is it, 232 is it? It's the one where Sinister's holding Madeline Pryor. Amazing cover. He put up another one just recently, and I claimed it. And so he set it aside, and so I can either have it shipped to me or go up there and hunt for books and talk to Ethan. But it's really hard to get to Tacoma these days, so I'll probably end up having it shipped. But before I have it shipped, I definitely want to pick up a couple more books, and we'll see. Now, there's an auction I am eyeing, and this could pretty much it. Not that it wipes me out, but I'm basically eating into next week's paycheck. Let's just put it that way. If I spend what I want to put in terms of my final bid, if we end up spending, let's say, my final snipe bid, we will definitely be eating into next week's budget, which is fine. It's fine. It's not like actually it might not be fine because the checking account, if there's no money in it, I can't. The payment won't process. Oh man, what to do? That's a toughie. Well, no, you know what? I think we could do it with a credit card, and then that could go through. And then yeah, we could just pay off the credit card with money that's in our like savings. So um, that should work. We're gonna put in the bid no matter what. I mean, if the payment doesn't go through, the payment doesn't go through. But we're not gonna like give up before we even win the book. We're gonna try to win the book before we let things get in our way. Um, yeah, so like I think where I am in terms of my head and the fact that I now have in mind a clear image of like, okay, this is what we pick up, and all this other stuff we want to keep until we're forced to make space. So I guess that's a good place to be. Um, it's also a bad place to be because I have a separate box now that I'm keeping, and I foresee myself just like these boxes getting longer and longer and ultimately stacking them. And that's not what we want to do. So I think um, this idea of like, this is what we work with, this is what we're trying to sell and get rid of. And as things come out, they go into the sell and get rid of pile, and we're just trying to sell and get rid of what we've been picking up. So hopefully, what we pick up, we can time it to where, like, hey, this is a hot book. I have it. There you go. Thank you very much. And we can sell them individually. But I'm also fine to sell them to a local collector or dealer, give them a real good deal, where going we're pricing things at half for the key books and then maybe $1 a book for the rest of it. So something like that would be fair for me. But um, yeah, I'm not going to take any lowball offers. That's for sure. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And you're gonna send me a few bucks, please. Send me a few books. Send me a few of these books. Um, John Byrne X-Men, please. John Byrne X-Men is appreciated. All right, have fun, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, peace out.